Nancy, we're back again.
We're back, Phil.
All right, we're going to get cozy. I know. So we've been talking about vulnerability, and we were talking about earlier what is, some good ways to manage vulnerability, your own personal vulnerability as a leader, and some of the worst ways to do it. So I was hoping you could enlighten us. What are the 3 worst ways to respond to somebody's vulnerability?
Right, absolutely. Well, I will share these again. This is based on a lot of the work of Brene Brown and then other people that she's researched as well. But essentially, when we feel vulnerable, there are kind of 3 buckets of ways that we can respond. We can either attack or retreat or defend, right? So attacking would be like blaming, we know about the pointing the finger, you point one finger and 3 come back at you, because in the research, blame is defined as the discharge of pain and discomfort. So if I'm feeling vulnerable or at risk or a little nervous or afraid, one of the ways I can feel better is by blaming someone else, attacking. Retreat is also a really common way. Disappear, go silent, get quiet in a meeting, whatever it might be, but not engaging or just sort of hiding. So that's retreating. And then defending is just standing strong, standing hard, but not necessarily being open and inviting the question. So getting defensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you seen this played out where people are doing these
all
things?
the time.
All right.
All the time. When you get people talking about how do they manage their vulnerability, they start seeing the ways in which they do these behaviors and how it doesn't create good collaborative
So how do you respond to that? I mean, working in this field, doing this work, how do you respond to somebody, for example, blaming you or defending? How do you deal with that practically?
Well, for me personally, if I'm feeling blamed by someone else, I think based on my experience of this now, I can actually take a step back and think, if they're blaming, perhaps that person is actually possibly feeling a little bit vulnerable themselves. So it might allow me to have a little bit more empathy with them and maybe ask a question that invites more of a conversation. That might be how I might respond to some blame.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
All right, so these are the worst ways to respond to other people's vulnerability or your own vulnerability.
Right.
Great.
Right.
Thanks, Nancy.
You bet.
All right.